Hello, my name is Scott McArthur. Let's take a little look ahead together so that you can all act ahead. And I understand you're looking for a speaker to talk about artificial intelligence, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'd like to introduce you to my talk in this area called The Imaginarium of Possible Futures. I believe our futures will be shaped and formed by those who dare to imagine it. And in this talk, I dare to imagine what might happen in the near and distant futures. If you believed everything that was in the media and in the press, and indeed in the Hollywood movies, you'd think the future was dystopian, which means it's going to be pretty terrible with AI turning on us and destroying the human race like something out of a Terminator movie.
I'll be back.
There are indeed many concerns about artificial intelligence and how it's actually been set loose. It's almost like a fungi that's now inculcated throughout society. I believe because of that, there's no going back, but it doesn't mean we can't make things better and work for the human race. I'll start by talking about the implications of what we've done with artificial intelligence. Other authors and thinkers go the opposite way and predict a utopian world. I also think this is just silly and quite lazy thinking, and I'll explore that as well in my talk. The development of disruptive technologies like AGI can be quite scary, and to be honest, it's going so fast it almost feels like a sort of vertigo sometimes, with many people expressing concern about the future. However, I think we have to reframe artificial intelligence and indeed other disruptive technologies like biotech and nanotech. We have to think about our relationship with these technologies, and up to now, much of that relationship has been underpinned by short-term thinking, immediate financial gain, and poor political attention on the matter. But there are some things that I really want to tell you about that I hope will give you hope for the future. And if nothing else, will give you something to think about and some new ideas that you perhaps haven't heard of before. The first thing to say is, I don't actually think we've been here before with technology, and I will explain why. The other thing that is really interesting about artificial intelligence is that rather than it being solely aimed at repetitive jobs, it's gone cognitive, and that changes the whole landscape of possible futures. AI has gone what is described in the American version of The Office.
White collar, blue collar. But I don't see it that way, and you know why not? Because I am colorblind.
I will then share some of the areas that I'm most excited about in terms of AI. They include the rise of the perennial and longevity technologies, why the future is analog and not digital, and critically, natural stupidity is something that I don't think enough people think about. But actually really not very good at making decisions. I will also introduce you to something that I call future literacy. This is the ability to understand and navigate the rapidly changing technological, social and cultural landscape of the future. Embracing a future literacy mindset is the key to turning uncertainty into foresight and anxiety into hope. Artificial intelligence could lead to the greatest shift in power in human history. Can you imagine things like startup countries and the rise of the new artisan? I'm also a former scientist. You may have heard of something called a stem cell, and that stem cell can differentiate into pretty much anything. It can change direction. And I think there's a lesson there. We need to be very light on our feet with AI and think about it differently than we ever have before. I will leave you with a framework to start thinking about AI and other disruptive technologies in a more productive way. I hope to get the opportunity to share my ideas with you. It's an exciting time. Thanks very much.